Hey, what's up everyone? Crew Danny here. So today we're going to look at the fundamentals of Muay Thai. We haven't done Thai boxing videos in such a long time, so today I want to bring you back to all of the basic stuff. So in this first segment, it's going to be about punches, so check it out. All right, so before we begin, let's talk about the stance. If you're right-handed, you want your power side in the back, all right? So we're going to take a step forward with our left foot. All right, so make sure that you always have a good center of balance between both feet. All right, so you want about shoulder width apart. And now place that left foot in front. So once you have this, you got to remember to always keep this stance for all of your techniques, which we'll show you in the next videos. But for now, the punches. So we have to have our hands in the proper placement. So my rear hand, which is my right side, all right, is going to be next to my chin. All right, so from a side view, next to my chin right here. And then the lead hand is going to be just in front, all right? So the side view is here, but I want to also protect my chin on this side. So what I'm going to do now is raise this shoulder up and also bring my chin down. And what you want to do is shrink your neck. So here, I want to shrink my neck as such, shrink your neck, all right? So that way there, you don't expose your chin to punches as easily. You want to try to cover that. So if you get into this good habit, you're always going to maintain that position throughout your Muay Thai techniques, and this is going to help you out. Now, sometimes you're going to have a little bit of a guard position that's going to be tighter as such with the elbows against your body. Other times you might have more of a relaxed stance, such as the Thai stance. A lot of times we're going to have our hands looser as such, and the elbows are going to be separated like this, all right? So that's going to depend on your style and the style of attacking techniques you're going to be using. But let's cover some of those punches, all right? So the first one is always the left jab, all right? So on the left jab, what you want to do here is always shoot it out straight. So imagine there's a straight line to the target, and as you rotate your punch at the full extent of that punch right here, notice how the knuckles are gonna rotate, boom. All right, so just like in the stance, I want the shoulder high next to my chin. Once I shoot the punch out, I want that shoulder next to my chin. All right, so you wanna shrink yourself in and boom. All right, so here, boom. Now notice on this side, it's important not to drop this hand. A lot of times when we start out, we tend to drop the opposite hand, which is the one that should be protecting you while you attack. So it could look like this, right? See this opening? So I want to try to keep this hand next to my chin as much as possible during that jab. Now, sometimes you only use the jab as a flicking motion, almost like to probe the distance. You're just going to flick it out. There's not much power in between. So here we're just shooting the jab out, more like a flicking motion. But sometimes you want to impose that jab and use the shoulder into it. So it's going to be here and boom, really push the jab in. But notice how I don't want to rotate the body completely. So a lot of times when people throw the jab, it'll look like this. They twist and they turn this way like a hook. All right, so what I want to do is keep my body in the center. So look, I throw the jab, boom, right? Feet did not move, boom, but I push with the shoulder. Now if I need to cover more distance, as opposed to twisting as such, because when I twist, I don't cover any distance. Right? If this is the extent of my jab right here, if I twist, I don't cover more distance by doing this, all right? So instead, what I'm going to do is use my feet to push the jab in. So I'll step it in, right? So watch, I push the jab. So I push with the back foot, step with the lead foot, boom. And now I've covered more distance with the punch, okay? So on the left jab, one more detail from the front. You don't want to raise your elbow out. Like we call this like a chicken wing, right? So here, that would be the chicken wing. So I don't want to raise the elbow out and then punch from here, because this is telegraphing my punch. I'm telling you, hey, I'm going to jab here. Block this, right? I want to keep the elbow here. Imagine you're fighting in a very narrow hallway, and then you can't raise the elbows too much, right? So it's all here, boom, straight out. See? Boom, straight out. So always try to work your jab in this fashion. Now the next punch we're going to cover is the right hand. All right, that's your power punch. So the right hand has the same mechanics as the jab in the sense that it's going to be shot out in a straight line, but the only difference now is you fully rotate your body into that strike. So from the side view here, notice how I'm going to rotate my body into that punch. All right, as opposed to just flicking the punch and keeping the shoulder behind. So good exercise you can do when you're starting out is just rotate the shoulder forward. Right? Just rotate that shoulder forward. Just practice this drill a few times so that way there you learn to distribute your weight and also rotate the rear shoulder into the punch. This is a good drill just to practice when you're starting out. That way there you learn the mechanics of shooting that right straight. Now look, with the punch, boom, Shoulder is up near the chin, backhand is up, guarding the opposite side, boom. And that is the punch. Now, when you practice this, think about retracting your punch as quickly as possible. It's almost in the sense that you want to bring your hand back almost quicker than the way it shot out. All right, so if I shoot it out here, whoom, think about bringing it back fast into position. All right, so don't let it there. Don't leave it out. Don't take a picture, right? Try to bring it back. Try to bring it back. Back into its place. All right, so the same thing as the jab. You don't want to telegraph by using that chicken wing elbow, right? So don't lift and then shoot it out from here. That's a common mistake. So keep it here. Boom. Boom. Straight out. So the left jab and the right hand are straight punches in basics of Muay Thai. Now the next punch we're going to cover is the left hook. Now what you're going to do here is rotate the lead shoulder into your punch. All right, so the best way to practice when you're starting out is to feint a left cross, like the previous technique we just showed. So imagine the shoulder is already in front, and now bring this left shoulder back to the front side. All right, so if you're going to hit someone with this shoulder, and then you want to hit them with this shoulder, that's going to force you to get the rotation with your front leg. All right, and that's the exact mechanic you want to practice when you do your left hook. All right, so when we first start out, we like to always teach to bring that rear shoulder forward. All right, so you feint across, boom, and then you bring the left hook into the equation, boom. All right, so notice how this shoulder pivots with the hip as well as my feet. So look, one, everything is synchronized. Now, one common mistake is people will bring the elbow up, but they'll also leave the shoulder behind. Watch, like this. And now it becomes just a flicking punch. It's just the hand that's snapping at the end. What I want to do is rotate. I imagine that my spine is anchored right through a pole in the center from the top of my head all the way down between my legs, and I want to rotate my upper body onto that pole. All right, so here, boom, right? So now if I bring this right shoulder into the equation, I lean into it and boom. Now, lead foot will rotate, but not the back foot. A lot of people will do this. They rotate both feet. All right, that takes you off balance. All right, you want to have an anchor point. That's your right foot. So here, boom, this one is planted. All right, so if you notice the back foot plants on the ground as I rotate on the lead foot. Now, another thing, a lot of people will ask, should I have my fist in this position or in this position? Right, it's a question of preference. I personally like to have it in this fashion right here, like vertical fist. Other people like to throw the hook here. Sometimes I'll also throw the hook like this. It'll depend on the distance, but that will cover more details precisely in future videos. But for now, the mechanics of throwing your left hook, again, use your shoulder. That'll help you out when you're beginning, and then rotate here. Now, again, there's not much movement of my arm. It's mainly the body that twists, all right? So don't use this. Don't snap it out. This is anchored to this, which is anchored to this. That's very important. One, boom. Use your upper body, your trunk, your shoulders to drive the whip, boom, into your hook. Now the next punches we're going to cover are the uppercuts, all right? There's going to be two, the rear and the lead, all right? So this one here, again, we talked about using your trunk, using your legs to drive the power into your punches. When we do the uppercuts, these ones are shooting upstairs, right? Right through the middle, under the opponent's chin. Sometimes you also attack the chest level, right? Right into the body, short uppercuts here. But for now, into the chin, what we want to do is go from the bottom side up, all right? But the thing is, if we only use the arms, that means I telegraph once again, right? I'm telling you that I'm going to throw a punch from underneath. So what we want to do to disguise this is keep the hands up and drop your legs. See, I dip down and I drive it back up. I dip down and drive it back up. Same thing with my lead uppercut. I'll dip down and drive it back up from the side. This view here, I'll dip, boom, and explode like I'm bridging my hip towards the punch, boom. And the same thing for my left, I'll dip down and drive the punch up. Notice how the rear hand always stays in contact with your chin, that way you can protect, especially with uppercuts. A lot of times we'll throw the uppercut at a longer range, like a upside down jab, and other times, mainly, it's going to be from a short distance, all right? So we want to go here, boom, and drive it up. Boom, and drive it up. Now, just like the jab, sometimes you just probe, same thing with the uppercut. Sometimes there's no hip or leg motion. It's just like a boom, 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 short uppercuts. These ones we're going to be using a lot more. Sometimes you just want to hit the gloves, set up some power shots, such as following up with a left hook, right cross. But the basics of the uppercut, use your legs and your hip to drive it up. See that hip bone drives the uppercut up, and then it comes right back, right? Don't go up all the way back around. Go here, boom, right into position. Same thing with your lead. Boom, right into position. Now, sometimes we can combine these. Go right to left, boom, boom, or left to right. Step, boom, boom, and then back here. Now, of course, with all of these basic punches, you can make endless types of combinations. But in this first segment, I just wanted to teach you guys some basic details of your basic punches. All right, guys, so there you have it. Basic fundamental punches for your Muay Thai training. Hope you enjoyed this content. Leave us a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe if you are new here, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.